Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Slay to Success talk show hosted by me, Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway. I am the CEO and founder of Slay to Success, which is a leadership and transformational consultant service business. I empower women with strategies, tools, and techniques who are working in an executive leadership role or who are transitioning from a long career to step up into their memorable personal brand to gain lucrative opportunities. So, if you are here tonight, please let me know that you have joined the show. First of all, thank you so much for being here with me tonight because, y'all, you're going to have all of me tonight. And the reason why is because I thought the Super Bowl was tonight. And so I had my schedule planned out, and then aka my husband, reminded me that the Super Bowl is not until next Sunday. So I am here, y'all, so that we can have a juicy conversation about dreaming big. And the purpose of this talk show, per se, is to highlight men and women who are living on their own terms and that are guided by the Slay philosophies. As all of you know, Slay to Success, you know, slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym. That's right. It's such a powerful word, and I love acronyms. So I'm like, what are those universal life and leadership philosophies that we can implement in our daily lives to achieve desired success? Well, it is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. So, first of all, shout out to Cherise. Thank you so much, Queen, for being here tonight on the show. Again, if you are here, please let me know that you're going to be hanging out with me, even if it's for a hot second. You just hanging out with me for a minute so we can have this conversation that I talk to many people about, y'all. I am having loaded conversations about dreaming big and the personal branding aspect of it as well. And so tonight, I'm going to just be here chit chatting and giving you some reasons why you should continue to dream big and that you should brand because your brand, which is you, okay, some people are like, I don't know what this personal branding is all about. Well, it is how you show up. Hey, Glenroy, thank you so much for showing up here at the talk show tonight. You know how we do in here. All right. It's going to be juicy. We're going to have a full conversation and you all get me. Okay. You get me for the whole night. Hey, Charlene. And I got to see Charlene for the very first time, y'all. We met in DC this past week, and it was an amazing lunch that we had. We met on Clubhouse, and Latrice, also from Mosaic Ink Nation, here in the building. So thank you, everyone, for joining me in tonight. But I want us to really talk about dreaming big and branding boldly because sometimes people are hesitant to dream first of all right, and we are dream weavers, we are trailblazers. We understand that there is more to this life than what we probably been doing before, and so we're like, what else could we be doing? All right. And so I want to give us some reasons why you should dream big and not to ever stop dreaming big and how you can brand yourself boldly because it is you showing up. So how do you want to show up from now on, right? Now, when I'm talking, y'all, some of us are not in a position right now to just drop everything and just, start building our dream out, okay? This truly is a conversation that you can have, kind of put it in the forefront of your mind so when you do get to that point where you can really live out and take the action to really go and get what you want, because I'm a firm believer after serving 30 years, y'all, 3 decades in the United States Air Force, which I did, and I did it honorably and I did it successfully. I knew I wanted to do something different. All right. I wanted to be out on my own. And people were questioning what I was doing. Why? Because I am not an everyday, bland, normal type of person. I was like, you know what? I question the status quo. I'm always asking why and what if this can happen. I challenge myself. I reimagine things all the time. I started to do this probably about, say, 8 years before I retired. I really started thinking, what is that next life? What is next? What is it that I don't want to be doing? What is it that I want to be doing? And walking myself to this point. And 2 years after I have retired, y'all, I am still living out the dream. And the dream for me is to be on more stages, to be out and about, to travel, to really get to know other people and to inspire and instill hope and people who feel like there is no hope. That is what I'm supposed to be doing. And what I want to do is reach more people. So, in order for me to do that, I have to continue to be out here and think of different ways that I can be doing it. So, also, okay, reasons why you should be dreaming big. And I've got some things that I printed out here. Oh, hey, Marilyn. She said, it was such a pleasure meeting you the other night. I'm looking forward to having further discussions about some leadership and motivational needs with my team. Yes, you came to the right place, Marilyn. It was so great meeting you too. And so I am hopeful that this chat, just blow up the chat. You got questions, you got a thought, there's something that you're like, you want to put out there. This is a place that you do it at. So thank you so much for being here. All right. Now, the reasons why we want to dream big, okay, and continue to brand boldly, meaning what do we want in our appearance? What do we want in our behaviors? What do we want in the way that we speak? It's because we're visionaries. Visionaries shape the future. Okay. They shape the future. I'm a trailblazer in my own right. There are not a lot of me out here. Okay. And what I mean is members who have done 30 years, also married to another persons, my husband, my sweetie, who also did 30 years and decided I did not just want to sit around in the corner somewhere or on my rocking chair. I have so much in me, y'all. So much in me. So what I did was I went back to school and got my master's degree. I did that in a year and a few months' time. Then I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to start Slay to Success. So it is a full business where I'm a professional keynote speaker. I'm a personal brand expert. I'm also an author. I wrote a book about my experience in the military. And I have found so many different other opportunities just by doing these small little things, right? I'm just saying, okay, Glenroy, dreaming big allows for bigger, better, and broader opportunities. Never pigeonhole yourself into what's comfortable. The lived out process of comfortability leads to stagnation. Dream big, plan big, strategize accordingly, and do it big. That's what we're talking about in here. That's my motto for my life. I have taken a lot of risk since I retired. People just can't understand what I'm doing because as trailblazers, people will, there's a lot of skepticism. All right. People are scared for us. They don't know what we got in our minds and our brains. And we're just unleashing these creative potentials, the things that we have inside of us. And we're telling ourselves we can do that, right? And I'm just saying, I show up differently, y'all. I show up differently in the spaces that I go to. And there's a big reason why, because I'm giving other people that are around me permissions to do the same. All right. We hold back because we are afraid that somebody's going to say something or challenge us or not invite us back to whatever community it is. All right. Because we have not decided that we want to show up as our most authentic self. And Charlene could tell you, Charlene and I met downtown DC. What did this queen have on? She had on a pink blazer and pink shoes and a pink purse because that's how I roll nowadays. And I was like, yes, this is who I am. This is how I'm always showing up, okay? Because it is what I enjoy doing. it is who I am, really. And it's appreciated you showing up differently. Yes, because I am continuing to build a legacy. I don't know about any of y'all, but I am huge on legacy. My story did not stop at 30 years of service. All right. Actually began. Another chapter began after that because now I have told my family's name. I've got King and Hemingway. But guess what? You too can also build a legacy. All right. Let's not just sit around and watch everybody else get a piece of all of what they're doing. And don't get mad. Don't get mad when people are shining. I glow up. People have commented on my whole aura is glow, right? Because I am living out my dream. I'm taking baby steps every single day. And Charlie, thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. I'm doing what is speaking to me because dreaming big for me is an acknowledgement of my deepest desires and my passions. And it's aligning with my aspirations, with my purpose. All right. And it's given me a personal fulfillment, a sense of purpose. I heard, we had our guest here, Sasha. She was on here probably a couple of Sundays ago, and she said that her purpose is her alarm clock. And I was like, yes, ma'am, that is my purpose as well. It is my alarm clock. I wake up every day knowing that I get to live out these passions, these desires that I have been dreaming about prior to me being retired from the military. And I just took the steps to do it. So all right. So if you're a trailblazer, okay, then you know what I'm speaking about. If you're not quite there yet and you want to be, let me just give you a little bit of insight. All right. You have to be proactive. All right. Thinking several steps ahead, positioning yourself. All right. You have to be able to encounter people challenging you and being uh, what resistance that maybe come up. There's going to be countless amount of setbacks. These past 2 years, people see me on the social media, all right, and they're like, oh my gosh, the slay queen is slaying it. And yes, the slay queen is slaying it, but I'm going to tell you right now, what you don't get to see, and probably what I haven't shared openly about, there are nights when I am crying in my pillow and I'm crying myself to sleep because I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? All right. I decided, okay, Slay to Success was just not going to be this, just a talk, if you will. It's going to be bigger. It's going to like be a movement. All right. I call it a movement. I call it a ministry. I call it the mission of what I am to do because I feel so connected to it. However, there are days when I ask myself, you don't really know what you're doing. Right, Latrice? If walls could talk, you don't know really what you're doing. You're really coming out here and telling people, hey, this is what I offer, and this is my services, and here is how I can help you. Is it really working, Rochelle? All right. And Todd Simmons was on our show too. Remember when he said, hey, am I really that good? According to the annual reports that I was getting that made me walk on water. And I'm saying to myself right now, let me see. Let me see if these things are actually true. So there are a lot of setbacks. And what I know or what I've discovered is that resiliency has been setting me apart from other people because I am consistent. I am showing up. I am doing the work. And it's all going to be about timing and its opportunities. And we, as trailblazers, know that These things that are setbacks are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones, all right, to that next. And so we are learning, we are growing, we are seeing how best to, tweak this and tweak that, what's working, what's not working. So I just want you all to know, all right, for you that are here and you're like thinking to myself, I don't know. Yes, your passion about what you have is going to drive you. It's going to fuel you, all right, and pushing them to get you that extra mile. I'm going all out, y'all. It's a full blown thing. I walked out today in one of my outfits that I wore for my photo shoot, and y'all, it's like the fluffy. It's the top or the outfit that's on the video when the introduction for this show comes up. And I wore that, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm out here. Okay. I know sometimes people are like thinking, well, I don't know if I should wear that because it might be a little bit too much. Or, I just don't want people to, comment or say anything good. I was looking for that. All right. And the queens that saw me said, yes, queen. Yes. And I said, yes. See, this is how we can show up a little bit differently if it's in your appearance. And I chose to use fashion as my personal brand strategy. Now, Glenroy said, midnight tears are a necessary cleansing agent to clear your vision on the way to the dreams you have becoming reality. Yes. I'm going to use Glenroy. This right here, I'm saving this and using this as a LinkedIn post or a future post because you're absolutely right. Those tears in the night, sometimes we need that to keep us grounded. All right. To keep us clear on what we were supposed to be doing because we may feel like this is not where we're supposed to be. And it's exactly where you're supposed to be. So, during my talks and so forth, and y'all, I'm out here in these streets, y'all. I am out here and I am meeting a lot of new people. And one of the common threads of the conversations that I've been having here recently is some people do not feel fulfilled. They are unfulfilled for a myriad of reasons. All right. And I just wrote some things down here. All right. Um, one reason I think is because they don't know what's important. They forgot or they can't figure it out on their own. And so they don't have a list of core values to fall back on. They haven't taken the time to really figure out, well, what do I like? What is it that brings me joy and happiness? What is really important to me? What is it? And I'm like, okay, like calm down. Get a piece of paper. List out things that you feel like are most important to you. For me, y'all, it's freedom. Freedom is number one. Freedom of all the things. And yeah, I am grateful. I am grateful for the time that I have served in the military. But I remember I had two phones for the last 20 years of my career. I had two phones. My time was not my time, y'all. Okay. I didn't have the freedom to just say, you know what? I don't want to be working today. No, I had to take leave. I had to put in for leave. Now I don't put in for leave. All right. Me and my husband want to go out and do something. He's still working, y'all, but he says, hey, we're gonna take off because he's in a position where he can do that at his job. And I'm like, okay, let's go and do something. But we don't have to ask for permissions. All right. So that way, like I remember having to ask permission to take my son to doctor's appointments, my son to, school, pick him up early, to go out and meet somebody down for, lunch. I had to come back at a prescribed time. I was pressured on that time, y'all. And it was necessary for what it is. But freedom is so sweet, y'all. It's so sweet. And the autonomy, and that was my last LinkedIn post, my Facebook post, freedom and autonomy. All right. Because when we can have that and we position ourselves to get there, that is what I'm building up to. And then I'm like, faith, okay, my family, my health. All these things are so important to me. So I designed my whole entire life around this. All you know that I am big on health. Health, 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 health. And I'm telling you, look, I got my uncle on here. Hello, my niece. It's good to see that you love what you're doing. That's great. We love you. Like your daddy used to say, it's a piece of cake. LOL. So this is my Uncle Tommy is my uncle on my dad's side. And my dad was all about personal branding, y'all. He would call himself Fred the King. Okay, his middle name was Douglas, but he would say, I'm Fred the King. And he would have these catchphrases, and it was like, it's a piece of cake or ain't it great? That's what I'm talking about personal branding. He is known for those things. He had like Fred isms, and his legacy of all the things that he used to do that was like what he did will always be remembered. What is it that you're going to be known for? All right, that's what I guess we're trying to get to at the end of this conversation. What is it that you're going to be known for, and are you moving in that? But again, some of us are walking around and we don't really know what's important to us. We haven't really wrote those things down. Maybe we don't have a lack of focus, or we don't have focus. All right. Some people are dreaming, wishing, and wanting, and they want to do some things, but they're just stuck. They're just not willing to take that next step, or they get distracted by all the things that are going on in this world today. All right. And all the social medias and all the, like I could just take my phone out and I could start looking and seeing all the different things, and I could get lost in social media land. I mean, instantaneously, because we're not focused on what we're supposed to be doing. And so we don't know how to follow our dreams because we keep shifting from one thing to the next. And we're constantly going into a million different directions because we can't sit down. We can't sit down and figure this out. So we don't have a focus. This is what's leaving us unfulfilled. Some of us are unfulfilled because, frankly, we're in the wrong career. We're in the wrong job. We are just really not where we're supposed to be. And so, like, this is the truth teller here, right? I I had to just let go of a position that a role I was in a contract job, because I felt that I wasn't that I took it on a new direction. There are some energies, and I was like, no, I can't stay here. All right. And I had to ask myself, should I be quitting? And the answer that back to me was, absolutely, queen. Yes. And you can. Some of us who have retired, may have been in 4 or 5 jobs. And guess what? Originally, I thought, oh my gosh, that's a lot. Why are people switching in and out of these different jobs? I don't quite get it. Right. And then I realized, because you can. All right. And if it doesn't feel right to you, you should. You should never be in a career where you just happen to get up and day in, day out, and you're miserable. All right. That's not the life that I'm trying to live. Especially in this next. If you're in your next, you should definitely be a little bit more selfish about figuring out what it is that you want and sticking to that. Because if your job is taking a toll on your health or your relationship, or it's not lined up with who you are, or you can't accomplish those long-term goals, and they're shorting you from doing that, and you don't feel like you have enough flexibility and freedom, and you feel like you've mentally checked out, it is time, okay, for you to act. All right. So Glenroy put on here, dreams, unless you make a plan to achieve them and make the necessary moves to achieve them, become empty moments of grandeur that serve as irrelevant talking points. Allow your dreams the opportunity to be blessed by you living them out. Glenroy, you are in my head tonight. This is what I'm talking about. Again, we do a lot of talking sometimes, but we are not truly ready to make the move because we haven't really sat down and said, okay, this is what we want to do, or this is kind of where I want to go. I'm all in the dream dabble do, meaning dream something, dabble in it for a little bit, do some research on it, try it out and see if it works for you, and then take some action and do something. I recently got my image consultant certification. Is it anything that I was planning to do originally? No. After a while, I realized, hey, that's something that I'm good at and I'm interested in. Why not? Why not? So we have to be able to ask ourselves these questions, because walking away from something that we are not suited for, it's okay. And it takes courage to do that. And so you would have to talk to yourself about it and, really figuring out which direction that you need to go. Some of us are unfulfilled because, we doubt our ability to succeed. Now, I'm talking to me, okay? All the things that we're talking about, I'm talking to me too, okay? So there are things that I doubt about my ability to succeed, right? Because I am somewhat on a steep learning curve. Everyone around in this industry, if you will, is at a certain point. Can I get to, 2 and 3 steps forward where others are at? All right. And sometimes I pull back and I'm like, because it's scary. All right. And sometimes I'm thinking, no, I can't do it. You know what that's doing? It's capping my potential. All right. I have unlimited potential. All of us have unlimited potential. When people come to us and say, you can't do that, or that's not for you, or that's when you really need to pay attention. All right. Are you living out somebody else's dream? I'm not about to live out anybody else's dream. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not living out anybody else's dream. All right. I'm taking on what I have downloaded in me and moving forward. So it's not too late for us to really tap in and use our unused potential. We all have that. And our dreams, they may look different now, but what will it look like when you have more knowledge, when you have more experience, when you have more skills? What will it look like for you? And that's what I want every one of us to kind of look at. We just need the confidence to get after it. And I'm the confidence queen. All right. I do harbor a lot of confidence in what I am able to do. And a lot of it comes from being in the military, because I overcame so many adversities and challenges, y'all. I overcame a lot. And some of them I didn't overcome, and I just had to deal with them in my own way. But I said, you know what? I'm good at this. I've been really working at it, but it took years and years. And so perhaps what you want to do is going to take some years. But if you don't start today, all right, if you don't start today as I'm speaking to take the necessary steps to move forward, that thing ain't ever going to come to fruition, ever. All right. So some of us are feeling unfulfilled because we are in the wrong relationships. All right. We may be in a relationship right now where it's toxic. We may have people around us who are, throwing shade at us all the time. We may be thinking, oh my goodness, I don't feel connected and I am misunderstood. Well, you know what? This is where we have to make some decisions. All right. And I love making decisions, especially about me. Because then you can say, you know what, this is what I'm going to tolerate and this is what I'm not going to tolerate. And then you move things around. But to sit into relationships that are not fulfilling to you, you know, can result in a lot of unnecessary drama. Okay, unnecessary drama. All right, Glenroy, what we got? The only thing to fear is your own fear. The only competition you have is yourself. Walk in your power. We are all unique. We both may make sweet potato pies, but I can guarantee each of our pies have a different demographic that it pleases. Don't worry about the peripherals of life. Stay the course and achieve big. Yes, absolutely. These are the things that we have to talk to ourselves and speak into existence. Because if we don't, we continue to go on as nothing's happening. And then we go into this life of regret. He is on it, Charlene. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a very this conversation about dreaming big. Um, it really gets down into your soul, into your spirit, especially if you have been sitting by and watching everyone else do what they're like, man, they living their best life. They're living their best life out there. And you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but what you see, but you're hoping that they are truly living their best life. And that's what I'm trying to do as well. It's like this dream big thing is when we have these visions, we have these pictures that come to us and they are coming to life. And we're like, oh, is that me? Yes, that's you. You're there. You just have to continue to walk in that direction. All right. Some of us are feeling unfulfilled because we have lost a sense of purpose. Now, again, and when you're in uniform, you may lose a little bit of your identity because when you're there in uniform, everybody knows your name, especially when you get into higher roles. All right. Your name and your picture is on walls. You got the nameplate where you just drive in, and that's your parking spot to every building that's on the base. You got that house that's only for you because you're in that certain role. You got an office, a big old office with your name on it, and you feel blown up. Okay, you feel like you are on top of the world when you get to certain positions or roles into your career. And then when you leave there, you like, what am I doing? Okay. And you don't know whether or not you can contribute to something bigger than yourself. And for me, it's all about connections. This is how I have just gone into I don't live in isolation, y'all. I could show you all the pictures from this week, and y'all gonna be like, dang, she moving out here. Yeah, because I know for me, my sense of purpose, or one of the things is connection, and is to being with like-minded people who are about the business, who are trying to improve in what they're doing, who are going kind of through the same pathways that you are. And when you have this loss, all right, a sense of purpose, I'm going to give you like 5 questions you may be needing to ask yourself. All right. One, what would you do with your life if money wasn't an issue? What would you really be doing right now? Two, what truly matters to you? All right. Something that you're willing to fight for. That's where I'm at. All right. I'm willing to fight for Slay to success. Slay to success. All right. We're going to stay ready, be ready, lead out loud, since community, since family, you're built to last. All right. Because that is the pathway to success. And I believe in it. I am the walking billboard, if you will. And I'm willing to fight for this. All right. I'm getting trademark on this and everything. I'm willing to put my heels and dig my heels into it and really give it all I have and to help more women or organizations or people who are needing what I have. What did you love doing as a child? All right. I always liked to be the leader when I was younger. I was the oldest, y'all. All right. I don't know any other who was the oldest child, but I always appreciated being in charge. Now, being in charge, it does come with, a little bit of flack because I used to get in trouble for everybody else. But I like that. I even saw myself, I was a drum major. All right. I love being in a leadership role. So it was kind of this natural progression of being in the military and being in leadership roles and doing that now here. And I'm helping and I'm looking at how leadership looks different. Just because I'm showing up like this doesn't mean that I'm not a leader. Leaders come in all shapes, sizes, and colors and all that, right? So I am putting a new twist on that and doing something outside of the box. Folks are just like, what are we doing over here? Like, well, we're doing Slay to Success. So, what big dream scares you right now, and what sparks passion inside of you? Because if you are not living authentically, all right, so all my queens and kings are in here tonight. We're going to talk about authenticity a little bit. Um there is somewhat of an existential crisis going on with some folks. Okay, people aren't really showing up like them, and they're taking on other people's persona. Why? Because sometimes I'm like, is that the voice of somebody that I know? Why are you doing that? Why are you not using your own voice? Why aren't you not using your own, isms, if you will? Why is it that you feel like you have to take on someone else? This is where you end up chasing somebody else's dream without taking the time to realize your own. This is where we go all wrong. And I'm gonna say this, and it may like spark a little bit of I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to just say it. It takes intention to build the life that you actually want. It takes intention. All right. That means it's an active process, actively figuring out who you are and what you like to do so that way you can stop feeling like you're unfulfilled. And what I mean by intentionality is my day is already kind of programmed in the morning. Like I have a morning routine, I have a night routine. I don't stray away from these things because I feel really good in the routines that I've made, but it's been on purpose. I get up and I work out in the morning. Why? Because there's no excuse. We actually built a gym in our home and we've been moving this gym for the past 10, 12, 15 years. All right. Because it's that important. I don't have to go out to a gym and get a membership, if you will. I have an app and I have TV and I can just get my workout. I know what works for me, but it's on purpose. All right. I purposely had designed a life because I want to say goodbye to AJ every morning. Why? Because I didn't get to do that a lot of times when I was in the military. So now it's truly 8:30. Okay, baby. I get to kiss my baby on the face, make sure he knows that he is loved and that he's appreciated and praying. Hey, baby, have an amazing day today. All built on intention. If we're not intentional about what we want in this life, we are going to be out here, strung out here, and not really getting to what we want, which is happiness. All right. Joy and happiness for our lives. All right, some of us are overthinking way too much. Way too much. This is what stops us from moving forward. We just be in our heads and thinking things through too many times and not pushing the button go. We're just waiting for somebody to tell us, hey, it's about time that you can go ahead and do that. No. All right. We got to tap into our intuition. We got to tap into that gut. We have to tap into our inner wisdom. We all have it. We just have to use it. There's research out here, y'all. The research from the University of Michigan, they found that 73% of adults between the ages of 25 and 35 overthink. And if you're in our age group, okay, because I'm not afraid to say how old I am. I'll be 52 here in a few months. But in our age group from 45 to 55, 52% of us overthink. Okay? Because we are not listening into the gut, or we feel the gut and we're like, nah, gut, we good. You know what I mean? And so it's just like we've got to tap into this. And Chevy says, yes, I love having my own schedule so I can drop my kids off and do things for my business without being time. Yes. Yeah, like when you're pressed on time, because time is the most precious resource that we have, and you can't get something done because someone else or something else is causing us to not go and do that. Man, oh man, it is just that it gives you so much anxiety and worry beyond belief. All right. And when we have an opportunity to not live like that, we've got to make sure that we get on the train and start living that thing out like that. She does go to the gym early. LOL. I remember seeing her in the gym at dark 30 on Nella's when I was there getting my workout in Monday through Friday. You best believe, because that is what my meditation is. That's my grounding place. That is how I move. All right. I, yes, I am almost 52, but I still get it in, really get it in. And I love that I have been able to build that in for my life and be consistent with it. Trish says, I'm about to fully live in this way. I'm starting tomorrow, one thing at a time. I'm going to build my dream life. Yes. Yes. Trish, that, or Tish, why do you say put R in there? Not an R. Tish. That's what we are doing, Queen. All right. Start right now, right? Think about what your plan is going to be and then get after it. And then Latrice says, yep, dark 30. Latrice be out there, dark 30, y'all. She be Facebook Live and she's walking and lifting and doing all the things, because this is what we need to do. We need to prioritize ourselves to live out the dream. How are we trying to do anything if we're not taking care of ourselves? I just can't understand. That's when people come to me and like, I don't know. I'm like, well, there's something missing here. All right. There's something missing. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm not trying to, like get all in the Kool-Aid or anything, but we need to figure out what it is, because I'm not about playing it safe anymore, y'all. And again, I've had to talk myself through these things because over the past few days, and Chevy can tell you because she's my accountability partner, I've had to talk to myself about it. Because playing it safe and playing it small all the time is just not going to get to where we can actually realize that dream. And we may feel a little bit unfulfilled. And if your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. Okay. This doesn't mean that you have to just jump in head first, all right, and live in a cloud somewhere, but do something that scares you. Either it's big or a small thing. Sometimes it's talking to a stranger. Maybe you're in the store and you don't like people. or COVID has caused this thing about, like I'm not talking to strangers or anything, right? I'm just saying, maybe it's talking with a stranger, or maybe it's applying for that dream job that you actually want. That people say that, oh, you're not qualified for. Oh, you don't meet all the check boxes. I dare you. I think that's what I'm going to do. I dare y'all. Anyone here who's looking to get into something that they haven't really, decided yet, or they've been looking at it and going, yeah, that's not for me. Go ahead and apply for it and see what happens. You may be knocking your socks off and you don't even know it. Glenroy said personal branding begins with taking charge of your physical and mental health. A to the men. Yes, it is. That's what what does your personal brand stand for? And are you living that thing out boldly? Because if it is a personal brand that's raggedy, all right, because some folks out here have personal brands that are raggedy. If that thing is raggedy, nobody gonna want that. Nobody want a part of that. Or if it's not, you know, attracting, it's not a magnet and it's repelling folks, they really don't want that. And in the world that we live in right now, there are a lot of unkind people out here. All right. There needs to be more people who are kinder, who are more light, who can shed a little bit more hope and inspiration. And if you have that in you, you should be using that. You should be using that on a regular basis. All right. All right. Some of us are afraid of taking chances because we're afraid of making mistakes. Okay. Um, if you think you are a perfect person, raise your hand. Really? Do we really think that we're perfect? All right. Opened up the possibilities to let me just try it out. All right. And we got to give ourselves the space to make mistakes. I'm not talking about making egregious mistakes. All right. And being intentional about these mistakes that we're trying to make. I'm talking about if you try something, it doesn't work out, stop beating yourself up. All right. Stop beating yourself up and telling you, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. No, I just can't do it anymore. I'm just going to quit. There's no quitting in Slay to Success. There's no quitting. There, I don't believe in quitting anything unless it's not serving you well. If it's serving you well and you know you're supposed to be doing it, do not quit, because that's what you're saying. I quit on myself too. All right. When you come to Slate to Success, it's all about you taking information in and you using it and you helping other people. That's what this is all about. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Okay. These are opportunities for us to get better. All right. Let's see. None of us learn to go to the potty without having an accident first. A mistake is a foundational lesson to build upon. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. So this is just true, real conversation that I'm trying to have is we got to get out of our own way. We got to stop putting these blockers on. All right. And thinking, oh, well, it's not for me because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. But we have to find the balance between what we can and what we can't control. Finding the balance between what we can and what we can't control. All right. I live here in the DMV, right? DC, Maryland, Virginia, y'all. And we were having a conversation earlier about the traffic. The traffic is crazy out here, y'all. It's absolutely plumb crazy. It takes me somewhere between, depending on the day, the time of the day, 30 to 45 minutes to get to downtown DC. Now, 30 minutes is a good drive. I can't control the traffic. So why am I getting upset when we got these stalls? It's there's no you know what I mean? I'm going to get there. And Shirley knows we were there. She was downtown DC. I met her downtown DC. We had lunch. And it was looping me around and around because there's one-way streets and this and that. And I was getting like, ooh wee. But I'm not going to get so upset that I'm banging on the wheel and I'm cussing folks out. All right. It is what it is. But sometimes we go through life, all right, thinking that we can control all the things. And when we can't, that means that it's not for us. We got to concentrate on the things that we can control. And one of the things we can control is ourselves. All right. Yeah. Put on some good music, a podcast, and get on to where you need to go safely. Yeah. Take it slow. Don't sweat the small stuff like that. That's when people get all out of pocket. So we got to take control of our lives. you know are you being present in your work? If you're a business owner, are you being present in the work when you're doing it? Are you being present when you're with your family? Like, I had to get called out a couple of times for my husband, and he'll let you know. I'm like, I got the phone. Okay, y'all. I'm big on the phone. But I have to let that thing go when I'm with my family, because when I'm with my family, I need to pay attention to what we're talking about. And the connection is deeper when I say, okay, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, y'all gonna have to wait because I'm here with my family. So we got to be present. Okay. Are you being present when you need to be present? Are you eating the right foods and getting enough rest? All right. Are you managing your money responsibly? Okay. And are you taking those small steps towards your goals? These are questions we need to start asking ourselves. Do we want to feel more fulfilled in our life? Because again, I don't know about y'all, but I'm shooting for the stars. I'm shooting for the stars, y'all. And I'm gonna give it my all. And that requires for me to be organized, equipped. Those words that we use in the Air Force: organized, trained, and equipped. All right. That requires me to do some things. And it's not being an overwhelm. All right. Working until you can't work anymore are gone. Those days are gone, especially if you're in your next chapter. You need to really focus on What is it that you want to do? Taking the small steps and celebrating even the smallest wins. Because those small wins are going to accumulate into something bigger down the road. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep going and moving forward. So, the reasons why we need to dream bigger, 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 it's because opportunities will be coming our way. We just don't see it right now, but they're there. And it's better to be prepared for an opportunity than to have an opportunity present to you and you're not prepared. That's my whole thing on stay ready to be ready. All right. In the meanwhile, what are you doing right now to be prepared for that opportunity? All right. If a talk show comes to me, like a, I don't know, TV show or whatnot, I'm be like, yeah, I'm ready. I got the clothes and everything, y'all. I'm building up these little outfits. Yes, invite me in. All right. I do want to come on the show and talk about my life. I love to. Oh, Slay to Success. You asked about Slay to Success? Oh, let me just share with you my experience with this and how it all came to be. You know I'm ready. All right. And I am taking the helm. I'm putting the hat on my head as a CEO. And right, and CEOs, we have to do certain things. Or if you're in a leadership role, you have to be doing certain things that only you can do, not what everybody else can be doing. And for me, it's about being creative, seeing what works and what is sticking and what is not sticking. Going out there and meeting new people and asking people questions. So how'd you get there? How are you getting there? What kind of strategies you got? This is all about building this dream, all right? And you got to have a brand that can stand on its own and not something that you said, well, I thought about it last night and here I am. No, I'm being very intentional with how I'm showing up and what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, all the things. All right. So this has been your show tonight. I know we've been here for almost an hour. I'd probably be on here for more than an hour. So thank y'all for staying here and being with me tonight and watching this live. And I want to make sure that our dreams don't go die on a vine somewhere. I want you to dream big and I want you to work hard until you own it. I want your personal brand to be just where no one else, all right, can take on it and be like, because it wouldn't look right on them. It's you, it's how you are. All right. And are you giving that back to the world? Or are you just keeping that for other people to figure out, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. And so thank you so much. Okay, yes. You're absolutely welcome, Chevy. And Glenroy said CEO, Slay for Success, Chief Encouragement Officer. Oh, I love that, Glenroy. Yes. I'm going to have to take that away from you. Yes. That's what I'm going to call myself now. Not no CEO. I don't even know what CEO stand for. Chief Executive Officer. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know it is, but I love Chief Encouragement Officer. I love that. Thank you, Charlene, for being here. Yes, let's just keep on dreaming big and branding ourselves boldly and getting these opportunities. So thank y'all. Keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Keep dreaming, as Latricia says. Is she gonna take that? Yes, keep dreaming, y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Bye-bye.